I should be live. And things should be working. I hope. We'll see whenever I can get some confirmation. Thank you, Stream Elements. How useless. And as usual, we will wait for a little bit, letting people have a chance of arriving. Especially since I did say 9 o'clock, and that's 1 minute from now. A bit bland with Yasas. Yes, it would. I mean, it would be a bit hard with Yastas. As well, I mean... But okay, first of all, is the sound fine? Both the microphone and the game. I mean, it is quite a quiet game, but I can put it up. Better? It's a bit loud now. Fine, then we go a bit lower again. Better? Or do you want it even lower? We'll do it right there instead. Slightly lower, slightly higher than usual. It's probably perfectly fine. And now we just have to wait. I did, after all, ask multiple people. And then we'll just see if anyone actually joins in. And if they bring their friends as requested. I mean, we're getting so close. Just 13 more followers and we are there. And I'm assuming Aker still did not understand how they were gonna do things. My nose is being a bit annoying. Weirdly. You know, when it just randomly blocks up. Sorry about that. Just trying to... Can I please remove this window? No? Okay. 1 second. There we go. Just got a little message on Discord that I asked him to answer quickly. So give me 1 second and I'll be back. You can hear my Discord pop-ups. Interesting. That shouldn't be happening. Let's close Discord on my computer completely. And that should at least fix itself on there. That's very weird. There we go. Now sorry. Now I answered my little message that I got. So I'm back, full attention on chat. Still waiting for people to get a chance to, you know, join in the fun. Since it's gonna be very hard to play this game if we don't get more people in. I'll at least press the continue screen and load the game so that people can start joining in if they want to. So we can slowly get ready whenever we have, well, 3 people or more. So to join, you can write !join and your preferred pronouns in chat, and you should show up in the game. Hi! Welcome! Is it okay if I just call you Mimi? Well, then I will call you Mimi. Feel free to join in the game if you want to. We're going to play a little party game with Twitch integration where, well, the chat plays against me. Just waiting for people to have a chance to join in. Because I did ask some friends to come by. So that they could join in the fun. Just gonna remind them. So 1 second while I just write a quick little message. And I've reminded the one person that said that they would happily be able to join. Yeah, and I'm here, sadly. I would be here even if you weren't. I mean, worst case, this just turns into a chatting stream for 5 hours. And worse things have happened. To be fair. I wonder if I should almost be on the Be Right Back screen while people join so that they don't have any idea of what's happening. No, that would be rude. Welcome, Teddy. You're the Count. And I know you said you preferably wouldn't want to, but too bad for you. That's life. But yes, I'm, as always, just having a little bit of a chat beforehand. Because you never know who or what may show up. Yes, Kyler, that's because we're continuing the dynasty. I didn't restart, so you will, I guess, always be a patrician until I do a new dynasty. I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on it, because I have no clue. So, because I mean, it's only the second time I'm playing this game. Like, I know nothing. Yeah, you play by, well, it's just via Twitch commands. There will be choices and laws in the game that you, the viewers, will vote on. I will have some, we'll all the different factions, so the barons, the counts, and the patricians will have different goals that they want to complete, and the different votes in the game will affect different stats that further the different goals, essentially. And me as the monarch is, well, I'm trying to win by getting an heir on the throne, and you all are essentially trying to usurp me in one way or another. So, it can be a bit chaotic. You've joined already. You are A Baron, Mimi. We see your name at the top there. It's okay. I tried it out yesterday and it was incredibly fun. But, as always, the more the merrier, so... yes, as always, waiting a few minutes at least before. Yeah, hopefully they can see it. The pin, that is, the pinned comment. I mean, it should stay for until it's removed, I think. Otherwise, you can just add it again. So, maybe I should check with my brother quickly as well, if he had anything to do, or... And I quickly asked him. Mainly because 3 players is a bit uneven, I guess. No, it's perfectly even, but like... truly, this game would be much more fun if I maybe had a few more viewers. But that's for the future. And yes, we want the drama, that's why we are here. But I'll give it a few more minutes. I usually go for like 20-25 minutes before I start. Anyway, since, well, getting people in slowly but surely, and I don't have a stream starting soon screen yet, so generally just sit here in the game. You did? When did you send me one? I can't remember. I need to check now. Did I miss something? Or was I just too lazy to edit it or add it in? That could also be nice. Ah, yes, it's right there. I see now. Oh well, I'll add it for next time then. I know, chaotic. But then again, I've only done this for 1.5 weeks. Essentially. Yes, the very, very professional graphics. So, for anyone who is new and haven't seen it yet, here's my very professional Be Right Back screen. Plus music, hopefully. Made by my lovely, lovely mod. And partner. And then it's your very, very professional graphics. And yes, it's very cute. Cutesy, purple, yes, like I want it. And then, still these graphic sellers come in and say, did you know that you can grow quickly with professional graphics? I have professional graphics. I just didn't pay for them. Or I do, but maybe not that way. Yes, using you for free labor. It's okay, you got lasagna. So I mean, I think that's good enough. I paid you in lasagna. Don't join a union. I know you're legally entitled to, but like that's beside the point. You want to go into the one field in this country that barely cares about unions. So don't you start. And yes, you are probably Garfield in disguise. Well, I guess I will just click on begin game and we will see if people join in as we go. And the game works through turns, where every turn we get 3 events that I will read out, and then there's usually some form of a vote at the end of each event where, well, a few of these stats are, you know, affected by different things that happen. Let's start with my coronation. Your Majesty, it was an honor to serve your mother, but now it's your time to wear the crown. As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. What? But it's my coronation. Let's get this over with. Or should I get changed into my waterproof robes then? Let's get it over with. Shall we call the nobles in? And here we have the vote. To vote in chat, you just write !vote and then option A, B, C, or D. So vote away. And it's perfectly fine if you don't do it within the time either, because I can close it manually afterwards. Force the commoners to swear a blood oath? It is, I guess. The common citizens of the capital are lined up in a winding queue that loops along a dozen streets. One by one they are brought before your throne, bowing and scraping. English is hard. Sometimes. After a bit of prodding from your watchman, each citizen slices their palm and smears their blood on your boots, swearing their eternal loyalty. No amount of scrubbing will save your shoes after this. Authority is now imperious, so authority went up. It's the stat over here. The last monarch to hold a blood oath ceremony was King Timian the Mad, who also once declared war on the color blue. The peasants muttered darkly that another tyrant now sits the throne, and stability went down. It's the stat over here. Let's take the path to victory. Your Majesty, you have some big boots to fill, and with your mother out of the picture, the nobles will be looking for any opportunity to replace you. When you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? And I will pick my goal. As the architect of a new golden age, my goal will be trade. A lofty goal indeed. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's overall trade as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. And lastly, we have the council introduction. Now that you're the king, your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles. Introduce myself to the Counts of the East. Okay, apparently a little tutorial, because this is the first time we have a premium noble. So this is a player who has bought the game. They can set their customizations, get access to special outfits, and appear more often in storylines. So, Teddy here owns the game on Steam and has customized himself to look like this, I guess. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Majesty. I was dismayed to hear of your mother's passing. And we have the Patricians of the Coast. A pleasure, Your Serene Highness. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. And then we have the Barons of the March. Hail and well met, Your Highness. Under your leadership, we'll whip this kingdom into shape. And with that, the introductions are done. Welcome, all my vassals. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue. Is this what your mother fought so hard for? Probably. And I will once again say that if there's any lurkers in chat, you can join in the game at any time by writing !join in the chat and your preferred pronouns. So, the counts were starting there in the east with whatever scheme they may be hatching this time round. Sigana of the Teddy Pangolin dynasty, legendary reformed cultist, leans delicately on a podium, whispering carefully. My fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false king Eulalia II wears the crown. And the counts get to vote, so Teddy, since you're the only one here, you get to vote exactly for what you want. Whichever goal you want to do. Lower own faith. The counts plan to induct the king into their secret cult and offer him immortality in exchange for the throne. First, they must reduce the power of the Eastern Church. To advance their scheme, the counts must lower their faith to 4 or less in free season. And faith we have here. There should also be a little Twitch integration thing that should be able to show you some information if it works. Next up, we have the patricians. Dorian of the Kyler family, notorious coastal rapscallion, scribbles with a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, muttering in frustration. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of King Eulalia II. Something must be done. And patricians, so Kyler, vote away on whatever goal you want. Oh yes. Yes, they are. And that's the problem. You all are coming for my throne in one way or another. And for my throat as well. I mean, the problem is Kyler is the room next over, so they could actually come at me with coming for my throat whenever they want. The patricians plan to hold the king hostage in his own palace. First, they must lull the spy master into a false sense of security. To advance their scheme, the patricians must raise stability to 5 or more in 4 seasons. Excuse me. Emmy of the Mimi of the Mimi bloodline. Legendary marcher trapper stands before a blazing hearth, roaring with arms outstretched. When have the barons of the march backed down from a fight? Never! I know you'll do whatever it takes to put me, your rightful queen, on the throne. So, you get to vote now, Mimi, for whatever goal you want, which is any of these 3. So A, B, or C. We have military, lower stability, or lower authority. The barons plan to modernize the kingdom's army in such a way that it's totally under their control. First, they must prove the military is in need of reform. To advance their scheme, the barons must lower the other regions' military to a combined total of 10 or less in 4 seasons. Which it's at, I guess. Yes, come out swinging and hit me hard. And now I get to adopt a new law. Or, well, a way that I can do things. Yes, Monarch's golden choice. Meaning, if you vote for whatever I pick, if I want to pick something, that is, you get money. Let's start in the capital with the Honor Guard. Hello, your Madge. Just came by to let you know your mother never returned her copy of the amazing Madeline and her educated ferrets. If it doesn't find its way back soon, I might have to fine you. Are you Nettie? Yes, this is Nettie. She's our librarian. Or was our mother's librarian. That's me. Silly me, where are my manners? I was your mother's librarian, though I guess we were never properly introduced, were we? And now I suppose I'm yours, if you'll have me. Yeah, I'd be happy to keep you on. Wonderful. It was an honor to serve your mother, you know. I hope you're as happy with me as she was. Your Majesty, what on Celeste is going on in here? There are no guards outside your door. Oh, I did wonder about that. I was just leaving in any case. By the 9th, the Palace Watch are incompetent fools. What if a less friendly troll had gotten in here? The door was practically open. You need an honor guard, Your Majesty. And, okay, tell me about the Eastern Knights. The Order of the Drowned Rose are highly respectable. They'll understand palace etiquette, but it's been years since they fought an actual battle. They mostly write poems these days. Tell me about the Coastal Gladiators. A gang of low-born crooks who've turned themselves into celebrities through their skill at chopping other people to bits. They're vain and selfish. Their skill in battle is undeniable, but can you trust them? And the Veterans of the March. These soldiers have fought more battles than they've had hot dinners. They'll be uncouth, no doubt, and won't adapt well to life in the palace, but they're loyal and tough as nails. And what foreign mercenaries would you suggest? A band of fearsome fighters from the Tatterlands called the Battle-Bitten Brethren. They specialize in bodyguard work, but they're costly, and hiring foreigners will betray a lack of confidence in our kingdom's fighters. And yes, library book finds will exist everywhere, as always. Like, don't forget your library books, people. I await your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty, and I will pick... Well, it doesn't really matter at the moment, so I guess I'll pick the Veterans of the March for us, or no. Depends who has the best deal for me. Terry, that's a good argument that your great knights sharpen their minds as well as their swords. What do you other people have to say about your gladiators and veterans? And if there's any lurkers in chat, feel free to join in. I mean, you all know where I live. I mean, that will stab the... yes. Yes. Stabby, stabby, good. And loyal, good. Gladiators, also good. I mean, stabby, stabby, don't trust. Great. I haven't picked the gladiators before, so maybe I should. Just to make the patricians happy for once in their life. I say, while they were the only ones loyal when the counts and the barons once had a rebellion against me. I will make the arrangements at once. Defiance goes up in the march and the east, and goes down in the coast. The gladiators arrive a few weeks later. The men are bare-chested, ooh la la, and the women underdressed, eager to show off their bodies as much as their weaponry. They gather behind your throne and begin oiling themselves up. Oily, hot men, you say? Lovely. We never say no to that. Let's go down to the coast. 4. The most important thing. Welcome, Argene. Let's see what you managed to join in as. Your account again? Or, well, you're back as your count. Yes, a very rich count. That is indeed correct. I guess those RGs have been selling very, very well. Noble Patrician Kyler II is here to see you, Your Majesty. They want to sell you a crab. Of course they do. It's the latest trend along the coast, Your Majesty. The patricians have started keeping a species of jeweled crab as a fashionable pet. Yes, crabs are back in fashion again. How long until the bubble bursts? Will you get hanged again for trying to sell jeweled crabs? Only time will tell. The creatures are so rare that one can now sell for as much as a mansion. Very well, send them in. Thank you for seeing me, Your Majesty. I know the price is steep, but I assure you, these crabs will only go up in value. Buy the box of crabs, turn this fool away. What a waste of everyone's time. I'll make this sale of jeweled crabs illegal. So, Kyler, what are your arguments for me? Why should I buy your crabs? Yes, exactly. Kyler is trying to give me crabs. And that's a problem. That is unhygienic. Okay? To see you hung again. Okay. Fine, that is good enough of a reason for me to buy the crabs. To be fair. The treasury goes down and Kyler's wealth goes up. Counting out your gold, noble patrician Kyler II assures you that you will not regret your purchase. Yes. It probably is. A double entendre, that is. In one way or another, isn't it always? And then up to the coast for an invitation. Without a word, Count R.G. hands you a blood-red envelope. It is sealed with white wax in the shape of a skull. Oh, you are very handsome. Inside is a beautifully written invitation to an event called the Crimson Vigil, due to take place on an autumn night later in the year. What is this all about? I'm afraid I'll be busy on this date, or I suppose I should attend this event, whatever it is. Count, why should I attend your little weird party? Well, it is a party, so that is, to be fair, reason enough. Okay, fine, that is a good argument. And as always, feel free to invite all of your friends, because the more the merrier. The more people we have, the more crazy this game is gonna be. Come, really, I mean, truly. Okay, your elegant parties is to die for, Teddy. Fine, yes, I suppose I shall attend this event then. Welcome, hey bloomers. Yes, you can always bribe me with flattery. I will see you next at the vigil, your majesty. And that is another turn over, so let's end the season. Now, we're into another feature of the game. An auction where you, the different, well, players can build different buildings. The 2 highest funded buildings will be built, so think strategically about this. I guess the counts are, well, the goals for the counts are to lower faith. For the barons, it's to lower... Yeah, I haven't started yet. Teddy, wait a second. For the barons, it's to lower the military below 10 for people, or for the other 2 regions, and for the patricians, it's to lower stability to 5. Hiya. To you too, bloomers. So, let's start the auction, and I would say that, yes, you can pool your resources, Mimi. That is perfectly fine. If you and Kyler, for example, want to work together to fund one building, you can do that. And you do it by, as Teddy showed nicely, writing !fund, and then the letter and how much you want to fund a building with. And for anyone lurking around or who is new, you can join in the game by writing !join and your preferred pronoun in chat. Let's see. Oh, perfect. Another patrician. Which is Hey Bloomers. And as you can see, I think you also get refunded if you don't win your building. And I'm sorry if there's any background noise. I have a little crazy kitten right behind my screen. She is trying to chase flies. As always then. So we built a observatory which lowers faith in the Count's area. My kitty's name is Andromeda, like the galaxy. She is the cutest kitty. And the patricians built a library which raises stability in the kingdom. And we're on to another turn. Let's start with finding a spouse. Yeah, it is an excellent and most adorable name. We thought so too. We were trying to find a name from Greek mythology that we could both agree on. So it's Andromeda, or Andy for short. Mainly because it's hilarious to me that there are people out there that will rage so much that we have, well, Andy as a nickname for a female cat. Because, sure, it is gender neutral, but it's way more common for men as a name. And if we had gotten a male kitty, it would have been named Achilles. I know, exactly. Such a big shocker. Horrifying. Your Majesty, it's important you find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What is your preference? Men, women, or do you not mind? Let's do men this time. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll send out the messengers to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. The Crimson Vigil. The Crimson Vigil takes place in a bleak castle atop an eastern hill. Your journey takes weeks, and your baggage train keeps getting stuck in bogs. Guests at the Crimson Vigil compete on who can dress in the most ghoulish and frightening costume. What did you dress as? I mean, last time I did do a dragon with gem-studded wings and a golden tail. Should I just keep my mother's costume? Even though it's the most expensive and maybe I should save money from the treasury. But I am the king. Or should I go with a demon with horns, cloven hooves, and red skin? Or a ghost in tattered clothing draped with clanking chains? I'm gonna leave it up to you in the chat to give me some input, even though it's not an actual vote or anything. Because sometimes I just want you to decide things for me. Like, what could possibly go wrong? I mean, trusting Twitch chat. Really, we have a dragon, we have a demon. Anyone else want to weigh in? I mean, fair, they do love gold. and I want to increase trade through. Any of the counts want to weigh in on their own party? I mean, of course, Dragon with Bling Wings is always the best thing you could ever do. If I was affiliate, I would make a poll out of this. But sadly, stupidly, polls are locked behind affiliate for some reason. But I'm getting there, slowly but surely. But it seems like a majority says dragon for good reason. So I am going to go dressed as a dragon with gem-studded wings and a golden tail. The wings get stuck in castle doorways and you keep tripping over the tail. But the counts are in awe at such a display of ostentatious wealth. The treasury is now lower than it was before, and authority is now iron-fisted. As you're assessing your appearance, Count RG sweeps in, dressed as a living corpse. Welcome, welcome, your costume is extraordinary. Your Highness, truly it puts the rest of us to shame. Yes, I am the king. Please remember to stay in the upper levels, the dungeons are out of bounds. But I thought I was invited down to the kinky dungeon. No? Okay. Did RG change their mind? I mean, everyone gets vampire vibes. Yes, the dungeons where the real party is happening. Later. When we're drunk enough. In the ballroom, you find the counts gathered, all dressed up as frightful monsters, wolfmen, pumpkin heads, witches. A waiter glides past holding a tray of RGs. For the people who missed the first session I did, RG was here and invented a new food. Bread and meat. Well, specifically, a slice of meat between two bread slices. So yes, RG invented the sandwich. And, of course, it's named after RG. Which the game now remembers until I start a new dynasty. And I will also once again just take the time to invite any and all lurkers. If you want to join, you can write !join and your preferred pronoun in the chat. A pianist plays a mournful tune. The Crimson Vigil begins at midnight. What role will you take? A mourner, or are you willing to portray a hound of the betrayer? Can you tell me more about these roles? Surely you are familiar with our customs, Your Majesty. If you're unsure, you should stick to being a mourner. Will I play a mourner? Will I play one of the hounds of the betrayer, or... No, I'm the king. Do you not have a more prestigious role you can offer me? The most prestigious role is the King in Exile, but that is usually reserved only for counts who have been attending the vigils for many years. And also, please tell me if I need to raise the game volume a little bit at any point in time. If you feel like it's a tiny bit too quiet. Good volume. Great. Yes, so I get some feedback. I'm still, as I've stated, very new to this. I've done this for like 1.5 weeks. So, any feedback is perfectly fine. And yes, I will want to play the King in Exile. I mean, I need to try. As you wish, Your Majesty. A word of warning, as the King in Exile, you must wear a flaming crown atop your head. I hope you're not too attached to your eyebrows. Your ceremonial role is to run from the hounds of the betrayer, who will pursue you through the castle. The crown must not go out. The counts gather. After Count RG delivers a short speech about remembering the old ways, a flaming crown is placed upon your head. Ouch! Hot! Run! The hounds of the betrayer chase after you, howling and yipping. You remind yourself that these are just counts in silly costumes, but they're very absorbed in the role. Better get moving. Flee down to the lowest levels of the castle, or run up to the ramparts, hide in a storage room, or refuse to take any further part in the nonsense. Lowest level of the castle, here we come. Maybe I'm going to fail, most likely, because I have the most terrible luck you could ever imagine. I could easily fail many 99% rolls in a row. Wow, challenge succeeded. That is surprising to me. You clatter down dingy corridors, your tail bouncing absurdly. But despite your wings occasionally getting wedged in doorways, you outpace the hounds, leaving them lagging far behind. You evade capture for an hour. When you finally head back down the circle of mourners, they are up in cheers. A drink is thrust into your hand. The king in exile has escaped. We will be blessed with a year of good luck and bountiful harvests. After that, the music is more cheerful. The counts dance and chat long into the night. At dawn, you board your carriage and begin the long journey back to the capital. Defiance is now loyal in the east, or no, in the east with the counts. They are completely loyal. Thank you for that, my dear vassals. And my authority is now upgraded to oppressive. No, you just hosted a party. Why would you get something from it? And I will also, once again, say that you're completely free to invite any and all of your friends, because the more people we get, the more fun it will be. And also, if you ever need votes going to you, there's no better way than get votes than inviting your friends to vote for you. Stack the vote. Stack the vote. 1 second, I just need to check so that my little monster isn't doing something stupid. I think she's mainly enjoying the hot air coming from my laptop. Because it's warm and cozy. And trying to climb in. And trying to steal my keyboard. Lovely. Just moving that one. Sorry for the chaos. This is what it's like living with a kitten. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? The Archbishop's Fury. It's a dynasty event, so it will somehow, I guess, relate to an earlier session. You're enjoying a peaceful breakfast when the Archbishop barges into your dining hall, waving a scrap of paper. Your Majesty, this is an outrage. This was nailed to the door of the cathedral this morning by some 2-bit priest called Smote Lemongrave. Great name. It's short for May I be smote by the ninth if I ever prove unworthy. A religious family, the Lemongraves. And a lovely name, may I be smote by the ninth if I ever prove unworthy. I've never heard a better name. It's up there with some of the French names from history. Anyway, his name is not important. This is an essay decrying the church, making all sorts of fantastical accusations. What exactly are his issues? He claims that we're corrupt just because we're selling premium tickets to a cushy afterlife at 100 gold a pop. Ah, indulgences. Lovely, lovely. And he wants the church to officially change the fourth sentence of page 118 of the Holy Book so that it forbids selfishness instead of elfishness. He claims it's a typo, just because elves aren't real. He even criticizes my hat, says it's a bit much. How dare he? Don't you ever criticize a person's hat. That is low and not okay. And yes, it's time for the Protestant Reformation. Yay! Smells like heresy to me, your majesty. I can have a pyre built in the city square before noon. Exactly, Bloomers. It is like a tiny mountain on his head. You can't criticize that now, can you? And since I know that the counts want to lower faith in their area, I will use my veto powers to just veto the tracking him down and burning him at the stake, because that would lower faith and stability. And I don't want faith to be lowered at the moment. So, now it's up to you. Are we going with B or C? Vote, vote, vote. Yes, I know that the patricians do that, but I have to take things one thing at a time, okay? One second. Need to move my things a little bit. It's fine that you're here, little monster, but not if you're standing on my keyboard. I guess someone is having the Zoom meet. And the nobles voted for B, destroy the heretical missive, and leave it at that. The letter is tossed into a nearby fireplace and quickly burns to ash. Unfortunately, the newfangled printing press means that Smote's words are not so easily destroyed. A splinter faction of the church churns out thousands of copies of the so-called Lemongrave missive. We failed that faith challenge. Soon, there are widespread riots across the kingdom, and the church is widely scorned as venal and corrupt. Stability is now stable. Faith is now irreverent in the coast. It is now heathen in the march, because they already hated the church thanks to certain people. who were here before, and it's now skeptical in the east. No one likes the church, apparently. Let's end the season. And now it's time for tax season. So, my little counts, you seem to think that you're victorious. And why shouldn't I raise your taxes? Oh, I loved it, but it seemed to be a very extravagant affair. So, I mean, it seems like you have the money. And I mean, I can see that RG has quite a bit of taxable money. So, I mean, if I get the money, I can host the parties. I mean, I've already beat the counts and the barons once in a complete rebellion. I think I'll be fine. My vassals, surely you are not so short-sighted. If you're going with my liege arguments here, I'm sorry, but surely you, my vassals, aren't so short-sighted that you can't see that the crown needs this money to invest back into the country, into the kingdom. It's the best for us all. Well then, bring it on, RG. Who said I wouldn't enjoy it? You can threaten me all you want. Oh, crabs. More crabs. All the crabs. We all like crabs. Bring your friends. Get a crab. The crab craze has swollen to unforeseen heights, Your Majesty. That's good, isn't it? The trade is so profitable that patricians are shutting down textile mills to focus on crab catching. Thousands are unemployed. But who cares about that, Your Majesty? Your box of crabs is now worth nearly double what you paid for it. I mean, she's always biting. Yeah, bloomers, definitely beware the crab market. Kyler can attest to that, because Kyler may have gotten hung because of the crab bubble exploding and crashing down all around us. Which is why I feel like I should probably just sell. Because I get money now and it's better to, like, do that before the crab bubble just pops on its own. You sell your crabs for much more than you paid. The treasurer appears satisfied with your practicality. Meanwhile, industries collapse along the coast. Yes, exploding crab bubbles does sound messy. And truly, maybe I should actually try to invite people from a community, I mean, where they are actually completely obsessed with crabs. Like, that would be fun. So let's look at my eligible options for spouses. I have found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young man from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance. What if I don't want to marry any of them? That's a decision that can wait until after you've seen them, isn't it? The Chancellor leads you to the Great Hall, where they've arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by a cloth. I don't even get to meet my potential spouses. Fine. And yes, poor Coast. Well, the Coast is doing perfectly fine. They have already established a capitalist hellscape once. And that is enough. There's no time for sentiment. You just need a match that befits your station and suits your political needs. Thank you, Chancellor. They whisk away the cloth from the first portrait. This is Grigor, the eldest son of the Eastern RG dynasty. Apparently they had a hell of a time getting him to smile for this portrait. He had a laboratory installed in his castle and spends most of his time there, conducting bizarre experiments. The other counts think he's mad because he treats the peasants far too nicely. Intriguing candidate. From the coast, we have Nestor, the wealthy heir to noble patrician Bloomer's estate. He's got a reputation for honesty and fair-mindedness that's rare along the coast. He loves to lose his fortune betting at the arena. The common folk hate him for some reason, but who cares what they think? I like the sound of him. And finally, we have the March's offering, Rupert, scion of the prestigious Mimi bloodline. A typical baron, really, loud and brash and self-absorbed, but mostly well-meaning. He set up his own mercenary company for a while and did good business. That's all over now, though. He was high up in the army, training the troops, but was dishonorably discharged for some reason. Sounds like a laugh. I'm a Scorpio. Fun fact. RG, bad. Bad. What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance until they backstab me one way or another. So, my dear little vassals, why should I pick you? And why? Will you backstab me later if I do? I mean, sure, true trophy husband, that sounds like a great argument. The Count candidate knows a special Eastern technique. Ah, I see. Patricians, anything to add to the discussion? The Glug Glug McTwisty 3000 with the slop top. Okay, I see. I've never heard of that technique, but fine. Yes, your dude is already hated by the people, so I mean, that's fair. That would be an advantage later if I get rid of them. I mean, I could always just say, Okay, it is a specialist move, but... True, red is my color. Yes, okay, fine. Let's get a marcher then. Yes, yes, I look like my brother. That is perfectly reasonable, I know. I mean, Kyler, that tends to be how twins work. And our last event is another dynasty event, the True Believers. More of the Protestant Reformation, I guess. The Count is adept at fencing and will know how to use his saber. I think that the Baron will also know how to use his saber. Your Majesty, the followers of Smote Lemongrave are only growing more powerful. Now they're calling themselves the United Separatist Church of Radical Reformation and True Belief. Arjeen, you forget that the Barons are very much militaristic. I think they do know how to use a saber. Of any kind. Even the kind you're talking about. Have you ever read about how medieval towns used to suffer during war? We're not saying anything out loud because that will get us banned off of the site instantly, but fill in the blanks, people. I mean, fair. And that's no problem. The king also knows how to use the saber. Or the True Believers for short, thank God. Bit of a mouthful. Yes, but that's not stopping their popularity. It's those accursed printing presses. They're spreading pamphlets across the kingdom faster than we can confiscate them. Even some of my priests are being convinced. What can we do? They want to get rid of me and my hat. Still, people, just don't at the hat. We like hats, okay? Yes, we'll also ignore how much of a clusterfuck the Count's military was during that little rebellion where you got crushed completely. Yes, hats, hats, hats. All the hats. Everyone needs a good hat. Yes, I do truly deserve to own that hat. And once again, feel free to invite any and all of your friends. Because, yay, fun. So, it's time for a vote. There are two options that lower faith. There are. You will all get money. No. Yes. You'll get money if you vote for my option. Please, fight fire with fire, is what I'm going to say. So vote, vote, vote. For whatever you want, I guess, because I can't stop you. Hi, Artemis. Welcome. If you want to join in, you can write !join in the chat and your preferred pronouns. And then you can vote as well, if you want to. Just giving it a few seconds if you want to join in, that is. Time for the Reformation, woohoo! Yes, we were just talking about piercing each other with our lances or sabers or whatever you want to call the things that happen to exist between a man's legs. Sadly, I don't think that's one of the options you can pick, but it's so completely fine to identify as trash once in a while. You know where I am if you ever need to speak to me, if you ever need to talk. Let's click continue and see if we have any luck with the faith roll this time. Oh, we succeeded. Ouch. The High Inquisitor tracks down the culprits ruthlessly. All across the kingdom, cities are lit by the bonfires of true believers. You all are terrible people. Do you know how many people you probably just burnt at stake? Let's see what you managed to join in as. You are a baron. Yeah, that's it. That is correct. You are a baron. You are going to work together with Mimi to accomplish some goals. Your goal specifically at the moment is to, well, are currently met. The baron's goal is to keep the military score, which is here, of the counts and the patricians under a total of 10. Yes, the goal is to fuck me over. That's it. Like, truly. Whatever you can do to ruin me is fine. The surviving true believers sail off over the eastern horizon, apparently searching for sanctuary in the distant land of Chur. You'll do fine. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Authority is now tyrannical. Faithful is now dutiful. Faithful is now impious. And faith is now irreverent. Lovely. Good thing, you'll not have to worry about them anymore. You're going to get into it, Artemis. It's gonna be fine. It's mainly just having fun and ruining whatever I'm trying to do. And yes. I mean, fair, but in the context of the game. I mean, hopefully we can make you feel better by giving you entertainment. Yay! And yes, feel free to vent your frustrations by bullying me, or Kyler for that matter. I give you my permission. In a tiny village far to the east, Two counts meet in a derelict tavern. No one dares even glance in their direction. Another priest left my estate today. He said there was no sense preaching to the truly lost. I've heard the same across the East. We're no longer trapped under the church's thumb. Now we must not falter. If the king grows proud, we can offer him the ultimate reward, immortality. For the next stage of their scheme, the counts must raise authority to 5 or more in 4 seasons. We will see soon. Yeah, I don't want any of the new laws. Artemis, essentially, at the moment, your goal as a baron is to keep... As you can see here, there's a little red mark. You are in the red team. The check mark here means that you've met your goal. So you want, at the moment, the counts and the patricians' military, which is here, to be below 10 in total. You're currently meeting that target. You don't have to do anything specific for any of the votes. You can have fun and just vote for whatever will make things as bad as possible for me. Essentially. Whenever we get to a vote, that is. Again. The royal wedding. Your wedding to Rupert is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Rupert at your side. Do you take this man as your lawfully wedded husband? I do, I guess. Then I pronounce you king and husband. Artemis, it's completely fine. It will probably fall into place when you've been here for a little bit and experienced a bit more of the different things happening. Just follow what the other people are doing and you should be perfectly fine. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast. And after the feast, a dance. Your new husband Rupert dances so vigorously that he spills wine all over himself. Stability is now civil, defiance is now loyal, and, well, everybody's just happy. Yes, Mimi, I will lick it off you when we get to the bedding ceremony. By the time you find yourself alone with Rupert, it's past midnight and you've never felt more tired. Good God, I'm so drunk, and yet somehow not drunk enough. Time for more wine. How are you still so full of energy? Oh, you sound just like my mother. She's been asking that question since I was 5 years old and swinging from the chandelier. Sounds like some people I know. Shall we go to bed together? Yes, definitely the ADHD. And yes, both of you, Kyler. No time like the present, eh? He swings back the last dregs of his wine and leads you to the bed. Ooh. A call for apprentices. Will this be the witch in her library still? No? Wow. It's a wizard. Fine. Bad news, your majesty. A meddling wizard has set up shop in Everwald. I believe it's Briskt, the Lord of the Bells. Tell me more about this wizard. Wizards have managed to tame creation itself. They wield untold power and are naturally distrusted by the church. Even the High Inquisitor wouldn't dare move against them openly. I hate this. I hate this name, but okay. Briskt has influence over sound and its counterpart, silence. Though this power seems meager compared to other wizards, they are not to be underestimated. They've put out a call for new apprentices, which is a rare event. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for many. Droves of unwashed, glory-seeking peasants from all over the march are lining up for their chance. Not just peasants, bloomers, have also decided to apply. The competition will be fierce, but those workers are no match. I will be the most powerful noble this council has ever seen. You couldn't put your clothes on if it wasn't for your servants' help. We can't let this go ahead. To have a potential wizard on the council would present a clear and dangerous conflict of interest. How? Wizards answer only to themselves. Their power is unmatched, such that entire kingdoms cannot stand against them. Even an apprentice on the council would be disastrous. Noble patrician bloomers could use magic to interfere with votes, or you, for that matter. Then we shall assemble the council. Cheers, my liege. And I will once again remind any lurkers that happen to be here that you are completely free to join in by writing !join and your preferred pronouns in the chat if you want to join in to the game. Yes. I, as the monarch, will happily give you, my nice little vassals, extra money if you vote for B. Start vote. To vote, just write !vote and whichever option you want to pick. Well then. I'm also gonna just ask, Artemis, do you want to vote? Or should I get on with it? It's completely up to you if you want to participate or not, but you just have to write !vote and vote for an option that you want. B will give you a little bit of extra money. For example, what Bloomers wrote. That would be a vote for A. And you vote for B. And that's how you vote. And that's essentially the whole game. Now you know the rules. Everyone who voted B gets 500 extra gold. Hey, you do get to be a wizard at least. You just don't get to be noble. I think that's a fair trade-off. I suppose that is an acceptable compromise. Bloomers begins their journey to Everwold immediately. Noble patrician Bloomers' wealth has decreased because you graciously gave the money to the state. Their successor, Noble Patrician Bloomers II, inherits their position on the council, but the treasury confiscates the vast majority of their wealth as payment. Brsk's presence. I really hate this ending. Yes, apparently you died somewhere on your journeys. Brsk's presence in Everwold attracts all sorts of visitors, though the power of their latent magic starts to wilt crops for miles around. Farming goes down, trade goes up. And lastly, Stop the Presses, another dynasty event. Your Majesty, some anonymous firebrand in the east is spreading most inflammatory pamphlets. They're casting aspersions against you. What's new? I have a whole council that does that already. Something's different this time. They're not just calling you a bad king, they're criticizing the very concept of monarchy. This is republicanism. Don't you dare speak those words. Democracy. In my kingdom. Never. Never, ever. No, back off. It's my throne, not yours. And not in Curve, but in our very own kingdom. What should we do? I will let you vote completely freely on this. And, well, we'll see what happens. You can all see which stats goes up or down on the side. And I will press start vote now. So, now it's all up to you. And Mimi, you will have to do it again. You may have to wait a second or two, because I don't know exactly how long you have to wait. Because I can't even remember where I find the setting to change that either. Because I shouldn't have any, like, time limit on chatting as far as I know, but maybe I do somewhere hidden. That too. Stream lag is always an issue. Like, could be 30 seconds, could be 15, could be anything really. You never know. But we must do something. You expect us to let the common folk attack the very foundations of our society? Thanks to your permissive attitude, the East quickly becomes a haven for radical thought. Ah, type the same is 30 seconds. I see. Does anyone know where to change that? Because slow mode is not on or anything. Like, it shouldn't be. Then I'll figure that out when I'm done for the day. And we will see if I can find something somewhere. Intellectuals travel from across Celeste to debate politics and philosophy. Conversation, wine, and money flow in equal measure. I mean, I know it's to avoid spam, but I do also know that I should be able to probably change it a little bit if I want to. That's true, it could be part of one of the default shield levels. I guess I'll have to look at it later then. I have it almost as low as can go, but... For the first time, people across the kingdom seriously contemplate the idea of a republic. Ew. But for now, it remains a fringe faction of rabble-rousers and radicals. Yeah, true, there are many spam filters and stuff. But I guess I'll just figure things out then when I've ended. And just have the votes open for a little bit longer if needed. If anyone misses to vote, I'll just wait them in. And we have our next season. The Coast outwitting the Spymaster. Anchored a few miles from the sunny coast, noble patrician Kyler II has invited their closest confidants aboard their yacht. Our plans are going better than expected. The Spymaster thinks that all is well in the kingdom, and while the cat's away, the mice shall play. Ugh. Must you compare us to mice? Dastardly creatures, and I can never trap them properly. Funny you should mention traps. Our next step is to replace the Palace Watch with our own agents. We already control the honor guard. Oh no. If we can buy the loyalty of the watch, we will have complete control of the palace. For the next stage of their scheme, the patricians must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 2 seasons. In a distant fortress, so to the march we go. Amidst dark and foreboding forests, a small, squat castle stands watch over the marcher border. There, at the end of the kingdom, a plot is hatching. Ha! The kingdom's militaries are in shambles. Those pathetic weaklings couldn't fight their way through a field of rabbits. I've drafted the reform proposals as planned. The council will be more than happy to follow our lead. Yeah, and I am completely... I'm going to ask you when I have any questions, Artemis. Of course I will, and I'm also just a DM away if you ever need to talk, and you know it. When you're having a shitty day, you know where I am. Good, but we must ensure they don't get skittish. The kingdom must be stable for a proposal to work. Grand, a calm before the storm. For the next stage of the Baron's scheme, they must raise stability to 5 or more in 2 seasons. I'm happy you feel that way, Artemis. And I'm live, well, a little bit whenever, truly. And the only people, again, who need to do anything about their goal is essentially the, well, patricians, because the patricians are having terrible luck this time round, I guess. And here we go again. The crab bubble bursts. Oh no, our crabs. Bad news, Your Majesty. A new reef has been discovered, which is overflowing with millions of jeweled crabs. Crab prices are crashing catastrophically. How could this be? The entire kingdom will suffer financially, Your Majesty, with the exception of a few patricians. I do believe that this event could actually go a bit like either way, to be fair. If I remember correctly from what I read at least, it may be able to go both ways. Curiously, noble patrician Kyler II, the very same patrician who first began the crab craze, recently sold all their crabs at a huge profit, just days before the crash. Something must be done. You summon your council to discuss the crab price crisis. Many assembled nobles have invested heavily in the crab market, and they are casting furious glances at the patricians' benches. And since RG so cleverly believes that the crown should cover any lost funds, the crown is just going to lay down a veto. I'm not bailing anyone out. Why should I bail you out? I sold off my crabs at an early... Like, I still made a profit. If you didn't sell, that's on your own. That's your own fault. To be fair. Okay. What do I get for you ruining the treasury? When you're just furthering the patricians' goals. The patricians put you in this position. The patricians put you in this position, and you want to further their goals by ruining the treasury. Shouldn't... It was the crabs, of course it was. Shouldn't the coast or the patrician themselves pay for things? You'll let me visit the Eastern Kinky Dungeon. Just tax the crabs. Sure, it's a bit late for taxing the crabs. Fine, the monarch will give you money. 500 gold each. If you go for option C. You will all get money. You will get paid. If you vote for C, and C wins. Sorry, wrong one. There we go. I'm sorry, I can't. It's just that, this option is 500 gold for anyone who votes for it and if it wins. So I will start the vote, and I have encouraged you to vote for C. It's now out of my hands. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I will not say anything. Vote C. Vote C for a nice little tiebreaker. That is incredibly rude of you. I will execute you all. Once again, if you ever want a vote to go your way, invite all your friends and they can vote with you. See? That is very smart. Kyler, stop giving everyone crabs. Your help is appreciated by the patricians and the many ailing industries that are propped back up. Let us never speak of crabs again. Trade is now opulent, Defiance is now loyal, and the treasury has gone down massively. Because you all hate me. A helping hand. Eulalia, I had something I wanted to ask of you. What can I do for you? As you surely know, I run a very successful lumber company back home in the March. But the current laws are a little restrictive for my trade. Lots of tariffs and regulations, you know how it is. I was hoping you could push for some changes in the council. Eliminate some of the more cumbersome quality standards for Marcher lumber, perhaps? That is corruption, plain and simple. I wouldn't call it that, it's just a helping hand, that's all. Our common folk would surely thank you for it. Forget it. I'm not going to be... No. Fine, I can see I won't be able to convince you. He sighs and withdraws. For the next week he sleeps and takes his meals in another wing of the palace. Not too late, I'm sorry. No. I am not going to be corrupt. You all have cost me too much money already. The march has been a problem for my mother and my... Well, not my... Well, my mother and, well, the previous ruler before that. I realize I'm a different... They are not family related in that way. Begging for scraps. When noble patrician Bloomers II entered the council chambers, their clothes are stained and rumpled and their faces haggard. Oh no. Unfortunate tidings from the coast, your esteemed highness. My cupboards are bare. Slow down and explain? By the 9th, even my vineyards are barren. I mean, Artemis, that is perfectly reasonable and exactly what I will do. Thank you for the suggestion, my dear vassal. I'm utterly penniless. I beg for whatever spare coin the council can give. And this time, because you all are incredibly rude, I'm just vetoing that the crown should provide funds. This time, It's you who have to help each other. Okay? So, 3, 2, 1, and vote. Will you be helping bloomers or not? Exactly, the 1% needs to step up. Which is all of you, most likely. The 1% is... No, it isn't. Well, the crabs are your own problem. The patricians are to blame for that, to be fair. By my honor, really? Can noble patrician bloomers not scrabble up some cash themselves? Trade challenge succeeded, so the march gets a bit more uppity. And noble patrician Hay bloomers, the second's wealth has increased from 0 to 750. And Mimi's wealth has decreased from 1450 to 700. Hey, I've done nothing. You all voted. I have no vote on the council. Like, blame each other, not me. But with so much wealth at their disposal, they have no choice but to honor the council's decision. They reluctantly hand over the gold, but word gets around about your lack of generosity, probably spread by Mimi and her allies. Yes, someone please help Mimi with their wood. Anyone? Anyone who can help Mimi with their wood? No? Okay. So, before I continue to end the season, I will take a quick little break. Just a few minutes to stretch and get some fresh air. So, while I'm gone, please feel free to chat amongst each other, plot some schemes, and I will be back in, well, roughly 5 minutes. Have you been scheming against me while I've been gone? Because I'm back. And I have now gotten some more water so I can be hydrated and continue to read for a few hours. Well, in a few hours we would probably get through many rounds of this, but now we have another little feature. Artemis, the only thing you need to do is copy whatever Mimi goes for. You want, well, whatever is good for you, which should be, I guess, the library. The two most funded buildings get built and gets the stat associated with them. And if someone in chat would want to just show how a command would look like, so that everyone is, well, understands what they should write. Like, for example, what RG said, fund, so exclamation mark fund, whichever building you want, so A, B, C, D, E, or F, and then how much money you want to pay. And you have a minute. Well, no, I think this is actually a minute. And if there's anyone hiding away in the chat, or well, not in the chat rather, who wants to join in, feel free to do so by writing exclamation mark join and your preferred pronouns, or lurk away. Bloomers, you missed the exclamation mark. RG, you almost did it. Almost in time. And Bloomers, it's okay to be special. Sometimes it happens. Let's start with the occupational hazard. We received a message from the wizard Brisked. Your Majesty, I heard it in my mind during breakfast. It was quite disturbing. No, you don't die if you lose your money. If I lose my money, however, I die, I think, or something. Their new apprentice, Bloomers, has died. This is quite normal, Your Majesty. The survival rate of wizard apprentices is less than 1 in 10. Regardless, Brisked, I still hate the name, has sent us compensation. How charitable. And what of the damage that they've already wrought in Everwald? Did we receive any compensation for that? Alas, no. Only this 150 gold. Perhaps the council will have an idea of what to do with it. And I will give you some money if we build a statue. Vote, vote, vote away. The vote is open until I close it. And Teddy, do you have anything you want to vote for, or should I just go on? If they're still here. Well, I gave you time. Maybe I should go back to the game screen. Or fell asleep, you never know. The money, feeble as it is, goes towards the farmers who are affected by Brsk's stay in Everwald. But what can gold do, really? A few cows are bought, but the old ones are still roaming around the fields, leaving flaming manure and producing acid milk. No matter what the farmers try, the land is rotten with magic. That's just what happens when a wizard visits. Yes, fiery cow poops. That sounds about right. The barons are nothing but insulted by your help. Here we try to help you, and you just throw it in our face. I did nothing wrong. Barbecue, yay! About your heir? Your marriage to Rupert is not what you'd hoped. He seldom sleeps in your bed, and over breakfast you exchange only a few frosty words before he departs to a board meeting. The last thing on your mind is procuring an heir, but the needs of the kingdom must prevail. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. But something's still missing. You need an heir. Yes, I know I should have helped you with your wood. I mean, bloomers. Probably. They probably did a pun. A terrible, terrible pun. Yes. Wouldn't surprise me at all. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick, even if they're a bastard, or the youngest of your many cousins. Yeah, no, I'm going to adopt a low-born child from the orphanage and make everyone unhappy. Bloomers, get out. Terrible. Absolutely horrifyingly bad. They wouldn't, would they? No. Boo. Everyone boo bloomers for the terrible, terrible pun. Because everyone knows that the only correct response to a pun is boo. Fine, we'll have a child together, somehow. Do a royal duty, or as you want it to be, oral duty. Oops, sorry, I accidentally pressed the button. So I don't know what it said, but it was probably not that important. Yes, the traditional method. That sounds about right. Gonna be a bit hard when we're both men. Someone call a wizard. Yes, Mimi, that is definitely the traditional method. Keep on trying until it happens, yes. Your Highness, the Barons of the March plan to have the Council push through a number of military reforms. For the good of the kingdom, they say, but the reforms are designed to consolidate Marcher control over our ranks. What can I do? chat is being incredibly thirsty right now, and, well, they're having very much fun making all the sexual innuendos and puns they can. So I'm just going to ignore them for a bit until they calm down. And pretend that this is maybe somehow a family-friendly thing after all. No, it isn't. The barons are waiting for a period of stability that will allow them to pass the necessary amendments while everyone's guard is down. The spy master knows what you're trying to do. Unless there are some drastic developments within the next few months, I predict that the barons will be proposing these military reforms very soon. You bring the revelations which the barons wholeheartedly deny to the council. Well then. Once again, there's a vote. And what do we do to the red faction? Are we going to accuse them of treason again? Anyone? Vote away. You have until you have all voted, because I'm nice like that. I am not to blame for whatever the council does. I'm just gonna say that. However, once again, if Teddy is still here, they are free to vote before I close the vote. And I will do so in a few seconds. And yes, I do enjoy the same that the characters do the Paper Mario 2D pirouette turn. That's lovely. Yes, I also wonder where they may have appeared to. Let me just quickly check if I can. No. May have just fallen asleep or something. Oh well, on we go. Apparently we're accusing the barons of treason. I'm so sorry to the barons, but what can you do? The council chamber erupts with shouts and insults, accusations, formal and informal, circulate throughout the kingdom, shocking everyone. Peasants in the march and beyond protest the reforms. Derisive cartoons are posted on tavern notice boards, while priests warn against trusting the self-serving barons and their wicked ways. You can only hope it will be enough to delay the reforms. I'm sorry, Mimi, I had nothing to do with this. I couldn't stop the vote. But feel free to pop out the child and I'll just raise it on my own as a single father. Blackmail and bribery. The king can pay at times for important stuff, okay? Somewhere along the coast, noble patrician Kyler II strolls in their olive grove, accompanied by a close friend. The Palace Watch won't accept our bribes. The treasury is practically overflowing. They don't need our money. And I suppose they ran straight to the spy master to blab about it too. Damn our luck. Is this the end? The best investments are never profitable to begin with. We will bide our time and strike again when the king least expects it. The patrician's aim is to lower the treasury to 1500 or less still. So like... I have spare change apparently. I mean, look at the treasury. Big and nice. Military reforms. After several rounds of deliberations, the council approves wide-ranging reforms despite the barons being accused of treason to the kingdom's standing armies. The barons are the major contributors to this new model army. Having volunteered their expertise and manpower in these trying times. Meanwhile, in a foreboding Marcher fortress, the barons are celebrating. Ha! I can hardly believe they went for it. This is all well and good, but we have not won yet. We must make our final preparations before we take control. Barons, vote for what your next goal should be. Either it's raise your military, which is at a 3, or lower authority, which is up here at a 10. You want to lower authority. Grand, it's settled then. With our new model army in control of the kingdom's military, we need only knock the king down a few more notches to force abdication. For the final stage of the scheme, the barons must lower authority to 5 or less. Off with my head, I agree. I agree. Off with my head. So, once again, it is time for taxation. So, patrician Kyler, I see that you have quite a bit of money. I know this would hurt bloomers, but why shouldn't I raise the taxes? To be fair, why shouldn't I raise the taxes for all of you? With how you are behaving. You all are coming for me. Well, one count isn't here to defend himself. And the patricians, definitely. I mean, they ruined the economy. The barons we can leave, because they are, I mean, you know, my husband is a baron. I mean, no. That costs money. Fine, okay, my husband is a... My husband is a marcher. What? I did nothing. My husband convinced me. I'm sorry. No, but I like my husband, RG. A fishy wedding. Your Majesty, the Archduke of Saal has invited you to his forthcoming wedding. Your attendance would help shore up relations between our two great nations. By all that glitters, great nation, the Isle of Sal is nothing more than a nest of pirates and cutthroats. And I heard it isn't a proper marriage anyway. The Archduke is marrying a fish. The groom is a finfolk, one of the denizens of the sea, perfectly sapient and actually amphibious. Well, the church doesn't agree with a man marrying a fish. We mustn't legitimize this farce by allowing the king to attend. And once again, I will let you get on with it any way you want, so in 3, 2, 1, vote. Vote away. Yes, now that I'm helping you with your wood, you are happy. I see how it works. And we seem to have consensus. Words are hard again. So, I am apparently going to a wedding. Words are indeed hard, especially when it's in your second language and not your first. Just like that wood, that is correct. I mean, I will definitely, whenever I get to it, probably add little channel point thing when I'm affiliate that forces me to speak in Swedish or something, because no one would understand and it would be absolutely terrible content. Excellent, the wedding is scheduled for next year. I'll inform the Archduke that you shall be delighted to attend. I can also not wait for me to get there. I'm getting very close. I mean, what? It was like 13, 14 more followers or something? Because I do meet the other goals of like average chatters and all the time stuff. Bloomers, if you ever need help, feel free to ask away. This kingdom is sliding into madness. Yes, the High Inquisitor, of course. When it's announced that you will attend this wedding, the patricians are naturally scandalized. Yeah, just support IKEA. Just go to IKEA and read out some of the names and you'll be fine. It's not quite that easy, but close enough. Not everyone. Well, I am, obviously. And my partner is, allegedly. No problems, bloomers, or ingen orsak. Mimi, don't ever visit one. You will never get out. But the peasants, sentimental as ever, are in favor of your decision. Public opinion turns against the overly strict church. So faith goes down, stability up. I mean, Mimi, that is actually a good idea. So fine, go to an IKEA just for the meatballs. I will agree with that. Even though IKEA meatballs are kinda on the meh side. But when you have nothing else, that is perfectly fine. I mean, yes, I do go to IKEA sometimes for the food. And because you accidentally pick up 5 more things you didn't need. Rather, you go there for the food and accidentally pick up 5 things you don't need. Well, all Mexicans close enough. Well, ish. I am a quarter Italian, that doesn't count, but... Or, well, technically I'm not a quarter Italian, I was like, what? 13% Italian, and... I don't know... 5% West Asian, whatever that means. I literally couldn't care less about sports, RG, so... I am neutral, Ibrahimovic. Yes, Artemis, that is the problem with IKEA. You go in for one thing, and you come out with a whole bag. Like... And Mimi, it's completely fine to be a white American mutt. We like you anyway. Yes, Greta is a Swede. And randomly the daughter to one of our biggest opera singers. Which is also one of those fun little facts, like, okay, fine. I mean, of course she is. She's hated by any conservative. Not only in America. Like, the conservatives here aren't bigger fans of her. Like, they all got it from our conservatives. Trust me. Prying eyes. Your Grace, you are of course the greatest king of this century. Why, thank you. No thanks required, Your Highness. I speak only the truth as I see plain. I mean, RG, that probably depends on the conservatives. Oh yes, I've seen the Northern Lights. I have many, many pictures. When the Northern Lights are strong enough, I can see them just 5 minutes away. If I had a Discord set up, I would be able to post you lots of pictures. But I do have them. Many pictures. Yes, bloomers. The worst part is very much that she is a female type person with brains. Like, ew. That can't even be possible. How dare a woman have brains? Impossible. But your power could be even greater. What are the counts scheming? Death comes for us all, but what if it didn't have to? What if you could be the greatest king for all millennia? I will say, Mimi, some of the conservatives here also want the Handmaid's Tale to be real. Admittedly, not as big of a section of conservatives, but no, Artemis, the Northern Lights are perfectly fine. It's not a bad sign that they are spotted in places they normally wouldn't be. It's just that the sun is going into a more active cycle at the moment, which makes the sunstorms more powerful, and it will only really be a problem if we have another Carrington event, which happened in the 1850s, by the way, when the Northern Lights were seen as far south as the Caribbean. And it also shut down more or less the whole, telegraph system. But up here in the north, where we do have Northern Lights and stuff more often, we do have protections and stuff in place for bigger solar storms, so that the electricity won't just go poof. Sorry for just derailing the chat completely with random trivia. That's my thing. I love random trivia. Meanwhile, I have completely missed everything you're talking about, so... I mean, we can't blame the auroras for the ozone layers, though. I mean, that's more a people have to change, not the Northern Lights. Because we can't change those, sadly. It sounds sacrilegious. You counts. Perhaps it is, Your Majesty, but perhaps it's simply making use of the opportunities the Ninth God provides, if you're strong enough to take them. I can arrange more meetings so that we may discuss this matter further. The door bursts open. Ah, so we got to you first, no matter. The Counts have agents everywhere, and they've been building up your strength. There's something more sinister afoot. Their ultimate aim is to recruit you into a cult of immortal blood drinkers. What a tale! All we want is to help the king! Is this true? Of course not. This is heresy of the highest order. The council must know. I'm vetoing leaving the counts to their business, and you all get to vote away on whatever you want to do about this. I would prefer if we do not join the cult. So would the barons, by the way. So, 3, 2, 1, vote away. I guess you've all voted. And you vote to refuse me. Why don't you want me in the cult, Archie? The nobles leave you no choice. You sign a statement saying that you're not interested in immortality. Not one bit. It's fine, Artemis, because the vote went the way you wanted anyway. Workers on strike. Your Majesty, I need help with my commoners. The march is prosperous and living conditions are improving, but they still want more. They've gone on strike demanding better pay and fewer hours. Many have thrown down their tools and started squatting on my property. We should deliberate with the council. Cheers, my liege. So, I guess now it's time to vote what you want to do about the striking workers. Like 3, 2, 1, vote away. RG, happy days. Happy, happy days. Exactly. Do the right thing for the poor workers. We still have one more vote that could come in. It's okay. If it's a tie break, I get to decide. It seems like Teddy isn't here in time. Voting tied at 2. And I will give them what they want. I want that D. Bah, this is outrageous. Next you'll be asking them to vote or something. Sweeping reforms are soon enacted. Despite Baron Miss Artemis's repeated protests, the commoners' lives are improved, leading to a happier workforce and greater profits. Authority is down, stability is up, and trade is up. I mean, probably RG. Wouldn't surprise me. There's Volvos everywhere. Truth and lies. While playing a game of chess in an austere castle, 2 counts of the East discussed their schemes against the crown. How exquisite! The king is drunk with power. His mandated statues of himself be built in every major city. So how cold does it get in winter? It depends. Very much depends. To be fair. Yeah, Saab doesn't do any new model cars, but I mean, there's always the old models. They just do their Sumi planes, that is correct. Okay, Teddy, see you next time or something. But yes, here it could be anything from like just below freezing to like minus 20-ish degrees. Worst case, even more. Lovely, RG. We had some snowstorms during the winter, and that's like, well, I think we were almost partly snowed in for a day, because it took quite a while to shovel all the snow away. Our sculptors are doing well, I hear. Trade goes up for the counts. Better still, it means the time is ripe. But I was thinking, should we really show the king the true secrets of our group? Yeah, in the north it's definitely minus 30 very often. I've also been in, like... yeah, the UK, they shut down a lot earlier than we do up here. To be fair. Bloomers. Like, we had, like, what, 40-ish centimeters of snow? When it was at its worst, like 40 centimeters of snow in a day. And the only thing that was done about it was essentially just the government going out saying, maybe you should try to stay inside. But nothing closed down. Oh, fog. Fog is lovely. I thought that was the point. Immortality and all that. Yes, but those secrets are meant to be, well, kept secret. What if we pull the wool over his eyes? So now you're just going to kill me. Eurovision, Eurovision. I assume that... oh, right, the counts vote away, apparently. Whenever Eurovision rolls around next year, I guess I'll have to make a stream and just sit here chatting. Because Eurovision is live. And since there's only one count left, we will, well, continue. This will be a fine trick. The important thing is that we keep a good reputation with the king. We must convince him we're a trusted friend willing to share a wondrous gift. For the final stage of their scheme, the counts must lower their defiance to 1 or less. Yeah, let's just end the year. So, let's start with the east then. Horror in the east. Your Highness, a monster has been stalking my farms at night, smashing down the doors of cottages and feasting on the peasants inside. Sounds ghastly. Only a few have seen the beast and lived to tell the tale. The survivors tell a garbled story about gleaming fangs amid a mountain of blood-soaked fur. But just because I don't want defiance to be lowered in the east, I'm vetoing B. And yes, I've also heard that trivia bloomers. I can never remember the different things though. So, 3, 2, 1, go and vote. What are we doing about the monster? I would say it's no concern of ours, but... But that's just me. I mean, the Count's army wouldn't even be able to do anything. To be fair, like... Ah, RG, I see. You are a one-man army. Why didn't you say so earlier? The monster continues to menace the east, growing more bold every day. You hear reports that it no longer confines its attack to nighttime. Soon peasants are too afraid to tend their crops, which lie rotting in the fields. Oops. I did nothing. A ghoulish problem. Your Majesty, we are having terrible problems in the march. The people have lost faith in the Ninth God and churches are being left to crumble. But without priests to perform the rites, the dead are rising as ghouls from their abandoned crypts. Yes, Halloween seems to have arrived early, after all. There have been 9 attacks in the last weekend alone. The dead are rising, the dead are rising. Calm down, Your Majesty, for now the incidents are confined to the march. We must remind the marcher folk that they are lost without the Ninth to protect them, especially once they've passed. Zombies, yay. And, well, let us see. You will all get money. If you vote for A. Or to be fair, no. You get money if you vote for D. That's fine. Don't you want cheap labor? Zombie labor, like... Lovely, lovely zombie labor. To help with your wood. But your wood... Bloomers, you wanna vote in the chat before I close it? Okay. You vote these, so we're apparently hiring adventurers to eradicate the ghouls, because some people just want to ruin the treasury. The Adventurers Guild is very happy to offer you the services of a dozen loot-hungry scoundrels with a magic sword and a death wish. Fear not, Your Majesty will put those rotten bastards back in the ground. The adventurers are as good as their word. They carve up so many ghouls that the farmers use the corpses as compost, and soon the march is quiet once more. An island rises. Your August Majesty. Your August Majesty, something most strange has occurred in the Ghost Sea. A new island has risen halfway between our shores and the Isle of Sal. The Finfolk raised it from the depths, using their weird ocean magic. It's true, Your Majesty, the Finfolk raised the island to celebrate the marriage of their prince to the Archduke of Sal. They will gift it to him on the day of the ceremony. This is terrible news. That island is of immense strategic importance. We can't let it fall into Salish hands. Vote B, please. 3, 2, 1, go. Vote, vote, vote. Don't ruin the treasury. Stop ruining the treasury. Stop it. You're all being incredibly rude. No, Bloomers, you're apparently not with the fish people. You're all fishist. The wizard waddles into your throne room. A thin pool of brine forms around his feet, staining your nice carpet. Oh, lovely. Yeah, exactly. They're fish people. They don't need island. Well, they were gifting it to someone. And yes, salty carpet. No, thank you. I prefer men. What? I said nothing. See, I can also make terrible jokes sometimes. Despite my problems. And also, once again, if there's anyone hiding away, lurking away, who wants to join, they can feel free to do so by writing !join in the chat and their preferred pronouns. You want me to put that island back underwater? Big bit of magic and that? Or big bit of magic that, and I'd have to go up against the Finn folk. You will be adequately compensated. My Tower of Coral does need some repairs. I'll do it. The wizard is as good as his words. A few weeks later, the island sinks back beneath the waves as suddenly as it first appeared. With the island dowry gone, the Archduke's wedding plans fall through. You hear no more chatter about Finnfolk marriages. See, you ruined the guy's marriage. Are you proud of yourself? No, we're not investing in more crypto crabs. Not again. Blackmail and bribery. Luck is with us, my friend. The Palace Watch are in our pocket. They took our money gladly. The kingdom can barely afford to pay them a living wage. Music to my ears. Soon the throne will be ours. Indeed it will, but now we must plan our next steps. Patricians, vote away on your next step. Maybe you should lower the authority together with the barons. Then you can work together. As you haven't already. Yes, carpe diem. That sounds about correct, Mimi. Rude of you. Don't do this to me. Or, that's good. Because the other one was raising your military that is at a 7. I didn't mention that. And you did not read. So... you probably could have won. Over the next few months... Oh yes, I did. I manipulated you. Definitely. Over the next few months, we'll have our troops infiltrate the capital, disguised as beggars. 1 second, I'm sorry. Just had to cough a bit. Seemed to have something in my throat. So, over the next few months, we'll have our troops infiltrate the capital, disguised as beggars. At my signal, they'll gather and storm the palace in the dead of night. The bribed watch will open the gates, our soldiers will murder the king in his bed and have you on the throne before sunrise. Ruthless, I like it, but what about the counts and barons? They'll call us usurpers and rise up in revolt. Not necessarily, my friend. If King Eulalia II's rule is weak enough, we can persuade them to accept anything. Yes, don't touch my coffee. Never touch my coffee, I will kill you. Coming from a person living in a country that has banned coffee multiple times in the 1700s. And I will also say that yes, all these coffee bans in Sweden in the 1700s were total failures because people literally ignored it completely and smuggled the hell out of it. For the final stage of the patrician scheme, they must lower the kingdom's authority to 5 or less. You all are very close to winning. Yeah, here's my heir, my heir. Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a small child in your arms. Should I die, I ask that my crown be passed down too? My child. The assembled nobles break out into polite applause. By designating an heir, you've cemented the stability of the kingdom. Oh, who knows? Your Majesty, may I be the first to congratulate you on the birth of your child? What is their name? Eulalia III. Huzzah, your highness! I'm sure little Eulalia III will grow up to be a chip off the old block. Exactly, wizards. Wizards are always the answer. If it works for the Fate universe, it works for me. Congratulations on finding an heir. Now you just need to fulfill your ambition to win the game. Expect a visit from the Spy Master soon. The Archbishop's request. Your Majesty, I wish to speak with you about the situation in the March. The barons never treated their duties to the church with as much reverence as it deserves, but now the March has abandoned the ninth god altogether. Allow me to send some of my best missionaries to the March. It's for the good of the realm. You have my express permission. Yes, I'm just going past the council. Wonderful, I will make preparations right away. The other regions are less than thrilled that you did not consult the council about the Archbishop's request, but it doesn't stop the mission from going ahead as planned. Authority is iron-fisted. Defiance goes up. All in all, it's a success. The missionaries convince hundreds, perhaps thousands of martyr common folk to be inducted into the Ninth Church. I raised authority, which 2 of you want to lower, and I raised defiance, which 1 of you wants to lower. I am happy with that result. Yes, I will sideline the council if it means I will win. We are all very, very, very close to winning. Bankruptcy looms. The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. Where the hell did it all go? I couldn't possibly say, Your Majesty. Perhaps you have been spending a little too freely. No, I haven't. The council have. You all love me so much. I know, I'm the best king ever. Apart from raising taxes, we have precious few options. You could get a bank loan or sell off the crown jewels, or perhaps crack open some of your predecessors' tombs. Most were buried with piles of gold, or so I've heard. Let's do the worst possible thing we possibly could, right? We all know what we should not do in this situation, don't we? Let's make more coin. What could possibly go wrong? Like, I own the Royal Mint. I want that money. The Royal Mint begins churning out new coins, allowing you to pay off several old debts. Inflation never goes bad, that is correct. I mean, I will be happy to say that whenever I am hit affiliate, I will happily pay my mod 1,000 Zimbabwean dollars at the height of inflation per stream. But only if it was the height of the... at the height of their inflation, of course. I mean, I'm not surprised that Beyoncé did help the Swedish economy with her concert. She was on tour, RG. But I guess it just happened to boost the economy a bit. And we have another auction. Auction away. Exclamation mark fund and whatever you want to build. I'm sure she did. But while you're voting, I will just check. I mean, it probably was. And while we're at it, it seems like the record was actually not by Eminem at all. Okay, we can say that Beyonce's latest concert isn't even here. Eminem had 57,520 audience members in 2018, and roughly a year later, the Avicii tribute concert beat that with 58,000 audience and a bit. So the Avicii tribute concert is the biggest, or is the public audience record in at that arena. And we'll see. Let's start with my ambition, shall we? At the start of your reign, you said you wanted to be the architect of a new golden age. You've succeeded on that front. The kingdom has never been more prosperous. Well done, Your Majesty. But to shut down your noble scheming for good, we need to build on that reputation. Your advisors have some ideas. No, not the Scepter of Sages again. Okay, fine. Have you heard of the Scepter of Sages? It's an ancient lost artifact forged by Queen Alma the Wise. There's a legend that any king who recovers it will rule over a golden age. My advice, on the other hand, would be to infiltrate each region with loyal spies, defeat their schemes with schemes of our own. But the Chancellor has other ideas. Let's create a kingdom-wide spy network, shouldn't we? Stability and trade. Haha. A wise decision, Your Majesty. I'll begin recruiting spies. We'll send them across the kingdom in the guise of traveling bards. But this will require a fine touch. Your priority is to raise the kingdom's stability and overall trade as much as you can. And of course, there can't be open rebellion among the nobles. The true monster. Remember when I came to you with word of a monster preying upon peasants in the east? You'll have to remind me. I've drunk a lot of wine since then. A hideous monster was slaying peasants throughout the land, Your Grace. I have reason to believe that the culprit may be one of my fellow counts, Count RG, to be precise. RG, what have you done? The peasants believe that Count RG transforms into a colossal, bloodthirsty beast once every 7 nights. Do we know something like this ever happening before? Only in legend, King Karvek II was said to turn into such a beast and slaughter his servants at night. But in the day, he was as mild-mannered as a baby duck and had no memory of his crimes. Perhaps the same is true here. What should I do? Pray do not call a public vote on the matter. It would embarrass Count RG greatly for no good reason. Well then. I won't call it for a vote. I promise. However, Archie, I am going to arrest you. I'm a tyrant. You know it. Very well, Your Majesty, whatever you say. When your knights arrive to arrest Count Archie, they are attacked by an enormous beast with coal-black fur and claws like scythes. Defiance goes up, and authority is now iron-fisted. It slays dozens of knights. Once finally wounded beyond hope of recovery, it turns back into human shape. Count Archie lies on the floor, frail and limp and soaked in blood. Please release me of my curse. Archie, I'm giving you the option here. Are we going to kill you? What does the rest of you think? Should we kill it? Should we release it from its curse? Should we release him from his curse, or should we, drag him back to my dungeons? It's gonna be very confusing, but yes. Let's drag it back to our dungeons then. And everyone hates it. Your Highness, we cannot allow this dangerous beast to live. You place us all at risk. I know, Artemis, you did say kill, and now you're here complaining. Quiet, fool. Count Archie may be a monster, but he still has noble blood like you or I. Count Archie is chained up in the dungeons beneath your palace. For months your dreams are haunted by his howling. Lovely. A new baby. Then don't say it, Artemis. Greetings, Your Esteemed Highness. Some fine news from my citizens in the coast. A baby has been born on your birthday, bearing a birthmark in the shape of the number 9, a fantastic omen. Perhaps we should mark the occasion? I vote for C, but you vote for whatever you want. I'm letting you vote however you want. Like, do you want me to give them their blessing or nothing? I think we should just give them a bounty of jewels and fine wine, you know, jeweled crabs and all. But that's me. Fine, you all seem to disagree. By the 9th, Your Esteemed Highness, I can assure you there's no deception going on here. I'll be the judge of that. When the High Inquisitor returns, she's forced to admit that the birthmark is indeed genuine, but her rude questions and the threats have turned the local population against her. And the season is over. And you all are being rude. So I'm taxing the hell out of you. Because all you're doing is going against me. You have not voted with me. Even once. So now I'm going to be a true tyrant. Oh, howling from below. I feel like I should do these two before I do the ambition. Ever since you locked up that accursed eastern monster in the dungeons beneath your palace, your dreams have been filled with howling. Tonight is the same. Howling inside your head, incessant. Head down to the dungeon and confront the monster, order that the monster be killed, or suffer through it. I'll head down to the dungeon. You head down to the dungeons, careful not to trip on the narrow stone stairs. With every step, the howling in your head grows louder. Yes, I will have a nice chat, thank you very much. You find Count RG waiting for you in his cell, looking calm. How may I help you? This howling in my head, make it stop. You're just hearing the call. The only way to make it stop is to answer. And how do I do that? Open the cell, let me free, I'll show you. Do you think I'm bloody stupid? You have my word that you will not be hurt. Order your guards to open the cell then. As your honor guard opens up the cell, RG lunges forward. In an instant, he has transformed from a count to a hulking beast, covered in jet black fur. Your coastal gladiators charge, twirling a variety of weapons. The monster tears them apart, one by one, splattering the walls with blood, but it suffers dozens of wounds. Once your honor guard are dead, the monster leaps on you, sinking its scarlet fangs deep into your shoulder. But then, with a final shudder, it dies as the last of its blood gushes from its wounds. I mean, Mimi and Archie, you can share. It's fine. We can be a throuple. You stand alone in the gore-soaked dungeon, catching your breath and clutching your injured shoulder. Count RG has died. Count RG II has joined the council. So, RG, you invented sandwiches, and you are, well, responsible for making me a something. I wouldn't call that a wolf necessarily, but... Yes, Mimi, that is confusing, which is funny. Ah, I see. That's where you got the meat from. Great, just what I needed today. A few officers arrive from upstairs. One of them throws up, the others hurriedly begin bandaging your shoulder. The wound is slow to heal. Thankfully, it doesn't appear infected. Your physician expects a full recovery. Arms shortage. Your Highness, the situation in the east is dire. Our peasant levies have suffered dreadfully in the last few seasons and are now refusing to serve in any future military action. I'm worried for the safety of my fellow counts. We must bolster our dwindling forces in the east. Who knows what will happen to our people without protection? I mean, at this point I truly do not care, but do not steal my money. B, C, or D, my dear little vassals? Vote, vote away. You all have voted that the East has no need of soldiers, making them easy. Oh, so easy. Whenever they want to rebel again. To deal with, you know. You rebelled once, I'm not letting you do it again. Not everyone in the kingdom believes in military might, although the counts are furious that you've left them out to dry. Other nobles praise your forward-thinking attitude. Perhaps disarmament is really on the horizon? Yeah, I mean, the barons and the counts both rebelled, and you failed miserably. And see how well that has turned out for either group, militarily speaking. And the last event, Ambition Spy Network. All goes according to plan, Your Majesty. Let me show you. Your spy master takes you through a secret passage in your own private office. You emerge into a hidden chamber where a number of hooded figures are waiting. These are my agents. They can blend into a crowd as effortlessly as they can slip a knife between a traitor's ribs. How can we be sure of their loyalty? I've been very careful in my selection. You can rely on these agents. Soon they will infiltrate the courts of all the nobles on your council, disguised as traveling bards. Such a classic. One of the spies tosses aside her cloak, revealing a lute and the colorful costume of a troubadour. With charm and flattery, they'll worm their way into your nobles' hearts and minds. Then we will have a spy network, the likes of which the world has never seen. I hope to make even the Gaunt of Tavalin look like rank amateurs. Can they give us a song? A few notes are plucked on the lute. The assembled spies launch into a ballad. It's actually not bad. Your toe is tapping. Better than a certain lute-bearing prince I know of. If you think this is good, you should see them throw a knife, can cut a rope at 30 yards. This you will learn to fear me. Indeed, Your Majesty. A week passes before you hear more news. Your spy master arrives in your office with a tiny scroll, small as a cherry stem, clutched between two fingertips. This is a message from one of our agents in the field. Your Majesty, I sent her to Count RG II's castle, disguised as a bard, with a flute at the ready. Ooh, wonderful news. Don't get too excited, this is only the first step. Let's see what she has to say. Wait to hear the success of your fledgling spy. The spy master studies the scroll for a moment, and a smile creeps across her face. She holds it over a candle flame, and it vanishes in a puff of cinders. She's been welcomed into Count RG II's court with open arms, and is already flattering him with fawning songs. Let's hope our other spies are just as successful. Over the next few weeks, you receive back word from more and more of your agents. Almost all of them have successfully wormed their way into your nobles' courts. Now we must hope they can maintain their cover. A few more weeks pass. You wait anxiously for news of your spy's progress. One day your spy master appears at your desk, her face lit by a triumphant smirk. Good news, Your Majesty. Our spies have uncovered some of your nobles' darkest secrets. Did you know Count RG II has an irrational fear of lemons? You do now. Lemons. That makes me think of lemon wedges and what you should not do with them. That is a in-joke from another community where I happen to be moderating, and where Telltale Games showed up for a stream of The Expanse, saying something about lemon wedges and, well, anal sex. Sadly, they deleted the comment as quickly as they posted it, and we have no clue what Telltale wants us to do with lemon wedges. And yes, we're talking about the actual development studio here. That is correct. The Telltale Games. We even have a few illicit romances between the nobles and our generically attractive bards. The blackmail writes itself. Yes, I did. That is indeed correct, Mimi. My genius knows no bounds. That is true, it does know no bounds. I'm the smartest. If this keeps up, I might have to agree. But we can't get complacent. We must see if our other spies are equally successful. Over the next few weeks, your spies send back more and more positive reports. Soon you've established a spy network throughout the entire kingdom. It's with a sense of smugness that you call your next council session. As the nobles file in, you realize you know all their secrets, their weaknesses, everything. Listen, your esteemed highness, I was thinking that taxes have been awfully high lately. Why don't we hold a vote on reducing them? Oh, we can call a vote, no problem. But as the nobles walk up to the ballot box, your spy master swoops in and takes them aside. She whispers in their ear, one by one. You watch their expressions turn to horror. By sea and storm, how did you know that? Only my mother knows about that. And it can stay that way. Just vote the way we tell you to vote. I destroyed the evidence. You can't prove anything. You'd be surprised what I can prove. I know exactly where to dig. But if you vote the way I tell you, maybe I'll misplace my shovel. Hey, care for some lemonade? Yeah, leave me alone. I'll do whatever you say. Sure enough, when the votes come back, it's unanimous. All the nobles, for perhaps the first time, have voted exactly how you wanted them to. I could get used to this. When you leave the council hall, the nobles are quiet. They know a new era has begun, an era of cooperation or else. Your spy master meets you outside, unable to keep the sly smile off her face. We did it. Everyone, whoever crossed me, will pay. That's the spirit. That night you sleep an untroubled sleep for the first time since you first sat on the throne. No matter the grievances, the nobles will never again dare to defy you. You simply need to mention offhandedly that you know what they did last winter, or that you know where they sleep at night. With their plans in tatters, the counts retreated to their castles to brood. Their olive branch was rejected, the secret of eternity that they had guarded for eons. They would not be so kind again. Okay, Archie. See you next time, hopefully. And I will say this was a very close match. You all were so close to winning. But I just eked out at the last second. I got lucky. That's it. The patricians' attempt to worm their way into the palace was uncovered, and a number of arrests were made. Noble patrician Kyler II ended their life chained upside down to a dungeon wall. The Baron's revolutionary plan for their new model army were quietly shelved, but not forgotten. Those blueprints will surely come in useful someday. King Eulalia II ruled from the shadows, getting his way in the council with blackmail and threats. The nobles were terrified, but the peasants considered it a golden age. After 15 years of unquestioned rule, King Eulalia II died peacefully in bed, and the nobles let out a collective sigh of relief. The game lasted for 2 years and 9 months. My spouse was Rupert of the March, and the monarch who succeeds me is Eulalia III. The wealthiest noble is RJ II, or RG. Words, noises, hard. The poorest noble is poor little Bloomers II, that has absolutely nothing to their name. And the kingdom is in quite a nice stable state for all the nobles to ruin next time. Anyway, I will take a short little break again, and then I will, well, maybe start another round if we have enough people left, and also maybe try to, scout out some extra people to come and join. If I'm able to, this late at night for us here in Europe. But thank you all for a great game, and Artemis, I was just going to say, you are free to go. You're always free to go, of course. Sleep well, Artemis, and I hope that you get a much better day tomorrow. And Mimi, lurk away, that is perfectly fine. I will take a short little break, as said, and we'll be back in a few minutes. So in the meantime, feel free to watch my nice little Be Right Back screen, invite your acquaintances, friends, whatever, or your own communities if you have any, that's also fine. The more the merrier. And I'll be back soon. And I'm allegedly back, at least for a little bit of a chat. For now, waiting, seeing if anyone responds to my invitations to come and join. Of course, because I feel like I could definitely go for another round, even though it's quite late over here, but giving my American friends a bit of a chance. To maybe join in if they have the time or need or want or whatever. While also feeling, a bit of a need to continue when I'm so close to affiliate as well. Gonna check if... Okay. One of my friends is also still live. So maybe I'll get raided later on as well. Mainly waiting for a little bit as well, so that my mod can get ready as well. Meanwhile, I'll press the continue button and load the game. Continuing the dynasty. And people are free to join in with !join and their preferred pronouns again. If there's anyone left that isn't lurking. Oh, right. Sorry, I'm a bit stupid. Now you can see the game. I'm smart. So, what do you mean, RIP viewers? Because I am a tyrant and no one wants to play with me anymore, or what? Nah. People haven't fallen asleep yet. I mean, worst case, this just turns into a few hours of chatting instead. Wouldn't that be nice? Listening to my voice that I myself dislike? No? Or are you already tired of hearing me? Just gonna write another little post. No, that was wrong. And there we go. I mean, you were responsible for bringing at least one person and they fell asleep. Kyler, so partly this is your fault. isn't it? No. It's no one's fault. You know I like you anyway. But only like. But yes, we'll just have to wait and see if there are any people. I mean, it should be a decently popular game after all. I think. But like, I also don't really know how to market a game like this. Because, I mean, it's a bit hard when you don't really have a community already, but it is very fun to play. And I've grown quite a bit after all from just playing it, which has been nice. To be fair. And yes, you are not involved in the thruple, but like, we can make it a quadruple or something, I guess. Just get everyone in. We're open like that. But yes, doing anything fun while we're waiting? Or just drawing? Fine, drawing anything fun, or is it something you should definitely not be telling us about? Okay, then we are not speaking about it. Or you just need to draw more appropriate things. That's also an option, you know. I see. Then it's definitely not appropriate for Twitch, yes, probably. Indeed, indeed you are. But indeed, This seems to be a bit slow for now, yes, that is very, very true. But I've also only been live for like 4 hours. It feels like I could go so much longer than this. Like... But I don't know what else I would play. That's always the problem. And I would have to edit and stuff like that. Like... I just... I'm so indecisive when it comes to, you know, picking things to play. Yes, yes, you know that I am, and I know that I am, and everyone knows that I am. Or, well, anyone who knows me. Or maybe, I guess, almost 4 hours will just have to be enough. Like... Are there any fun things I can do here? No. Well, sitting on the main screen for a while then. But yes, I guess if most people seem to have just left, for now, we will probably end for the day, since I don't know what I would play otherwise, and we would need at least 3 people to in chat to play this. So I guess, instead of continuing, since people did not want to join in for now, from people I invited from the outside, that is, I guess we'll just have to end for now, and I will see you all next time, wherever or whenever that may be, and I hope you all get a lovely, lovely time zone. See you all next time. Bye.